Welcome to the presentation of experiment number 5, and here we are going to see about subquery and correlated subquery. First of all, we are going to see the definition of what is subquery and correlated subquery in database management system. So we are going to see the definition and then the syntax and with some sample scenarios, how we have to apply these queries and how it will be useful in your project. Okay, so we are going to start learning about this subquery first. Okay, so what is meant by subquery? So this subquery we are going to add with the var class. That means always we used to write a select statement, right? So in the select statement, we used to write select any conditions from the particular table, and whether you want to retrieve the specific column details or the all column details will specify, and then it is followed by the where condition. So in the where condition, we used to write the direct answers to the question. If we know the answers, okay, we'll put it right straight away. But with the help of subqueries, sometimes we doesn't know about the exact result. So we are going to write another one subquery inside it from the where class. We're going to pass another one subquery. So that is why, okay, so query inside another query, that is why it is called a subquery. Here you can see an example. So we used to write select some of the list we used to mention the column names or the or all columns means we used to put star, and from which table where the condition we used to mention. Okay, so here comes we are going to pass where, okay, that expressions and the operators we used to mention here, and again we are going to pass another query and the query ends here. So maybe we may connect with more than one questions, okay, instructions we may give for execution. This will be useful. So here the subquery, this is called inner query and this is called the main query or the outer query. So always this is supposed to be executed, okay, and then the main query executes. After that, this process is going to be completed. So what is the result written by the inner query will be the condition specified here, and the outer query takes and execute. This is how the subqueries are. Again, we'll go back to the definition along with the subquery. Okay, so like that we can apply the subquery to which are the statement, okay, like update, insert, select, and delete. So all these statements can have subqueries along with the operators. So all the relational operators you can apply here, like equal to, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Likewise, these operators also you can use. So that is called subquery. Query inside another query. After where class, we are going to pass these queries, and likewise update statement and insert and select and delete statement also can have these ways of subqueries. And we are going to see what are the different types of subqueries we can write. For example, single row subquery is there. So what does mean by single row subquery? At least it may returns, okay, sometimes if there is, it may do a search and it returns 0. That means there is no matches in the database. So it returns 0. Or sometimes it may return one row to the outer SQL statement. So this is called single row subqueries. So here there is an example. We can see a single row subquery. So here there is a select statement and here there is a select statement. So first set of select statement which receives, okay, that is equal to, after this operator you have to pass the second subquery in bracket, set of bracket, okay, in a bracket you have to mention. Okay, so the working table is called agent. So this agent table consists of agent code, agent name, and the working area commission and phone number, country. So these are the details are available in the agent table. So in the agent table, okay, we have a question, and based on this condition, we have to write a query and fetch the details. So retrieve the agent name, agent code, phone number from these 3 column details. Okay, so these 3 columns, okay, at least supposed to fetch a single row if there is a match. If there is no match, then 0 rows are going to be returned. So from the agent table, whose agent name is Alex. So how we used to write the details. Okay, suppose we doesn't know this table, we are not having access like directly seeing the values. Okay, we doesn't know about what is the agent code already there. Okay, in such case we have to pass another one query. Okay, So otherwise, we used to write these three columns, agents, where agent code is this one. Directly we used to write. Instead, we know there is an agent name is Alex. That alone we know, but we doesn't know about agent code. So we are writing the subquery. Okay. So if you want to fetch agent name, how you will write the general select statement, right? Select this agent code. Okay, so from the agent table where agent name is equal to Alex. So this is how our general query is. This returns a value that is agent code of Alex. That is when you go through agent code of Alex, that is A003. Okay, and then this A003 is going to be given, and from based on this, the particular row and the matches with the corresponding column are going to be fetched for these. Okay, so this is how a single row subquery is. Okay, so single row subquery. Okay, so we know only the agent name. We doesn't know about the agent code. So if you know the agent code directly, you will put A equal to agent code is equal to A003. If you have given, all these columns will be fetched. If we doesn't know this, instead if you know the only one data, that is one detail, that is name is equal to Alex alone, okay, then this is supposed to be passed inside another one query. Okay, so the code which is written by this query is going to be the input to the next outer query, and it executes and you're getting this result. This is step 1, and step 2 results are going to be like this. Okay, so this is a way at least a single row is going to be fetched and targeted by this way. Okay, so this is called single row subquery. And how the execution happens in a pictorial representation, it is given. The inner query is executed. The pointer points to Alex003. So this is going to be taken and assigned. And the outer query execute, and it point out the particular row, and the corresponding row, the entire details are going to be fetched. For the same query, it is given here. Okay, next. What are the other ways we have? Okay, so how we can use other comparison operators in a single row subquery? Okay, so single row subquery. Okay, outer statement is with the select query, and the inner statement is select query, where which detail is supposed to be written, whether it is of varchar or a number, or can you do a comparison operator? Okay, here comes, we have applied instead of equal to. Okay, there is a comparison operator we are using, and this is going to apply. Okay, what is the question here is, okay, so there is an order table which consists of these columns. Okay, and from the order table we have to fetch, okay, the average order amount. Okay, for example, order amount means, okay, the second column, the average order amount, okay, for a particular date we want to check. Okay, so we want to check 20th April 08. As per this, when you go, the order date is 20th April 08. Okay, what is the order amount? That is 2500. This is supposed to be the result. Okay, and how to write this query? So first of all, we have to go inside this order table. So that is, we are going to fetch from the order table, and the average of, okay, average function we are applying. Average order amount you are going to find out. Okay, that is okay, if it is repeated once again, okay, it takes the average. If it is just for one time, the value, okay, one time entry is there, it takes only one time entry. Okay, 20th April as of now, it is one time entry. So it takes 20th April only one time data, and order date is, so the value we know, that is 2500. This 2500 is going to be printed here. So this is written by the inner query, and the outer query will take this amount. Okay, order amount is greater than 2500. So then another query is going to be applied on this table. The values of order amount greater than 2500, those records are going to be fetched. Okay, and against these columns, those details are going to be printed. So you can see here, except 2500, all other okay, that is not x, yeah, except in equal to symbol is not there, except 2500 and greater than 2500 is fetched, and these columns are displayed. So this is how you can apply a comparison operator. Any operators you can apply here against any columns, and any other functions also you can apply inside an inner query, and the outer query is like a normal query, and it executes. Okay. The next question is subquery with insert statement. I have showed the definition like we can use subquery with these statements. So the next part is we are going to learn about how we can use a subquery, okay, for an insert statement. So there is a table called agent table. From this table, we want to generate another one table called agent one. All the columns we want to copy, exact copy, duplicate the entire table content. So how will you write the, so that is why insert all records to agent one table from this agent table. Step 1 to 2. 2 is the output, right? 1 is the source table and the destination table is this one. So what is a query you will write? Insert into table 1. That is agent 1. We have to insert the values into agent 1. Okay, we understood. And after that, the data is supposed to be selected from which table. Okay, so this is also supposed to be written in one single line. Insert into agent 1, select start. There is no conditions and there is no constraint. So where followed by something is operator is there, then you have to put it in a bracket. Otherwise, okay, you can continuously write. Insert into table 1, okay, that is going to be selects all values from another one table. So when it is done, okay, this is going to be executed, the entire copy of the table, you will get it. So this is also subquery, okay. So this returns the inner query returns the values to the outer query and it takes it a value, it takes all the values and it stores and creates another. Okay, and there are two tables here. Okay, so this is the source table. From this table, we are going to write same insert query. Okay, where the previous one doesn't contain where clause. Now we are going to apply the where clause. So here there is a condition like order table. We are not going to copy the entire thing. Okay. Only condition is the customer ID is equal to 4. Wherever customer ID is 4, only those records alone we are going to copy and we are going to update in the table. Okay. So based on that, the next table. So the next table, so order 1 was actually empty. The content was empty. There were no record sets. Okay. From order table, we are going to generate. So how to write the query? Insert into order 1. Okay. Insert into order 1. Okay, where we should not write the condition where. Okay, directly you can go for select start from which table, that is orders table, where the customer ID is equal to 4. When you write, okay, these two records it's copied and will be. So again we are selected and here you didn't write any condition. The outer query doesn't contain any condition. Okay, because insert query doesn't have any. Okay, if you want to do applying where, okay, you should go for other queries. Okay, instead of insert, you can go for update query. Okay, so with the help of it, you can apply where condition. So here there is no need of where condition. Directly you can apply here, select. But this inner query can have conditions. Okay. And this is how this query is. So subquery can be used along with this other statement. Okay, so far we have learned about subquery. That is the outer query is select, the inner query was select, and we have applied different operators and conditions. The second one we have learned about how to use the subquery with an insert statement. Likewise, any other query statements you can use it. Okay, and likewise, okay, multiple row and columns when you work, there is a need of in operator, not in operator, any operator, and distinct. Okay, such kind of keywords you can use it in your query for fetching the data based on the conditions. Okay, so here comes you can able to see there is a query, okay, which is given. So the condition is why we are using this in. First of all, we are going to learn about in operator. So what is the use of in operator? Which is used to suppose the inner query want to go with a set of values, a range of values. It takes and it just want to test. Okay, so at the time this in operator will be useful. So here comes there is a table called agent and this is the table called order. From these two tables we are going to work. Okay, in both tables we are going to work. So I'll just show the query here. Okay. So both tables are there. Okay, so here what is the condition here or the question here is we have to get, okay, these columns. from the order table, okay, from the order table. And and agent code from the table orders with the following condition. Okay, so from this table, what is the condition is the agent code of order table must be in the list within the in operator with the inner query. That means the agent code is supposed to be available within a particular range. Okay, maybe they have set it as all the agents from Bangalore. Okay, so there may be the many people may be there. All the records are supposed to be fetched. So how to write a select query? So the outer query we should write. Okay, what is supposed to be written? Okay, so those printed on a screen, those details we are going to write. Select, order number, order amount, order date, customer code, and the agent code from which table the question is given, from the order table, where here comes we use write operator, right? So where something and then followed by operator less than, equal to, greater than, all these things we have learned. Now we are going to learn about inquiry here. In and followed by a bracket, like equal to followed by an bracket, greater than symbol followed by an bracket. The same way here we have mentioned in followed by bracket. Okay, the inner query we are going to select. Okay, so select agent code from the question. We have to select the agent code. Okay, so the agent code is available in which table? We should identify agent code is available in the agent table. Okay, and the working location must be Bangalore. So we should find out the column working area is equal to Bangalore. So it will find out. Okay, so how many you can see here. Okay, from the previous table, okay, when it is continued, okay, 1, 7, 11. So some set of values are identified now. Okay, some set of, not a single value. If the query is returning more than one result, there is a possibility for accessing more than one result. Okay, set of, that is called set of values. Then you should go for inquiry. Okay, and so in, okay, it takes these values. Okay, and then the corresponding, okay, then the corresponding entire columns and the values are going to be fetched and it is displayed. So at last you can see 1711 how many times it was repeatedly available, okay, inside that same database. Okay, sorry, from the table, that is going to be fetched and going to be displayed. This is how you can work with multiple row and columns with the help of in operator, in followed by the inner query. Okay, and this is a pictorial representation, like the inner query takes these values. Okay, this is like in. What is not in? Just an opposite to that. Okay, we are saying the persons are not from Bangalore. The agents are not from Bangalore means except Bangalore, all other records are supposed to be displayed. So at that time, this is not in operator. So how the pictorial representation, actually in result is 1711. When it is given to not in, okay, only those record sets are cancelled. Other details are only displayed. Okay. So this is how we can work with in and not in operator. Suppose a particular column, some okay, for example, select. So far we have worked with only one, okay, agent code or something. More than one means, okay, agent code and the minimum order amount also, if you want to, okay, that means more than one column also. If there is a need, you can mention those things and you can work. Okay, and at the time you should go for group by having class. Okay, all the other queries also you can keep it as an inner query. But in operator will accept because at last it returns some range of values. Okay. So this is how subquery works, and we are going to learn about correlated subqueries. So what is meant by correlated subquery? So correlated subquery, so far we have worked with one table. If you want to connect and work with more than one table, okay, maybe the inner query may consist of another one inner query, and like that it may go. Okay, there is no limitation. And the outer query may refer one table, the inner query may refer another table, or outer query itself, okay, combination of both table data. So such kind of combinations, if you want to work, okay, at that time this correlated subquery will be useful. So what is meant by subquery? It's a query inside another query, okay, and these subqueries, all these subqueries are processed by the finally the outer query. So if you want to work with the multiple tables, okay, we have to create a correlation name. Okay, for each table, just like Correlated sub query. Okay, so query inside another one query, and table name. Okay, like an object name. Table one. Okay, T1 like that. Okay, wherever it's needed, then you can use the reference with the help of it. You can refer its data. Okay, maybe the column and its corresponding value. So that is called correlation name. Okay, so we are going to see examples and the syntax of correlated sub for correlated subquery. So here you can see there are two tables. This first one is called student table. The second one is marks table. So this table consists of student ID and name, and this is also student and name, and the same record sets are for the student ID. The values are available. So this is common. Okay, student ID is common in both tables. Now these tables can have a relations, right? So we can apply something with an relational operator. Okay, with the help of it. Just like a join. Okay, when you apply some values, some columns are supposed to be common. Then only we can work with two tables, right? Two tables or more. Somewhere it is supposed to have a common column with the values. Okay, so here student is the common one. Okay, unique values are there. So, if you want to fetch the data of, there is an ID called V002. Okay, so V002 name alone here, marks is here. So, how you will write the query? Select start from marks table. Okay, this table alone you will work. You will avoid this table. So I'll go with this table. Select start from marks where student ID is equal to 2 means okay V002. This will be fetched and you will get the result. Right? Okay. Suppose I doesn't know about the ID. Okay. ID of so everything is going to be a little dynamic now in the second query. So here we are going to identify all the students who got better marks than that of the student whose ID is V02, but we do not know the marks of V002. So in such case, forget the first part, okay, second part. Okay, so we just want some particular student we are pointing out, and the marks of others are supposed to be okay. If it is greater, then list out, okay. It may return 0 or null, okay, like that. So we are going to see how to write this query. This is also nested query. Okay. So okay, it doesn't start with select and a bracket. Okay. Instead, we are going to create an object for student for each table object, or we used to say correlation name. Student table, it is referred as A, and marks table referred by B. It is dynamic and user defined variables only. So for this table, okay, because we are going to connect with this table, then only we can work, okay, marks and columns, okay. So in such case, how we have to write the query? At last, we want to fetch, display what are the details, that is student ID, name, and total marks. Student ID from table 1 and the name from table 1. And because final result, okay, we want to display like that, name also. And total marks from this table. Okay, so this table reference is B. So we are considering A dot student ID means this one. Okay, and A dot name means this one. B dot total marks means this one. Okay, so this is the final columns we want to print. Okay, and the corresponding details. So here from which table? Table name, these two tables you have to mention. Come more than one tables are there. Suppose three tables are there. All three tables the same way. Select last outer query is supposed to have a select statement, then only it will display, right? So which are the format you want to display at last the columns, okay, that you have to specify. The second part must have the table name. Then it is followed by the where condition. You can write all those things in one single line. Where, okay, so in both table, the column ID is supposed to be same. That is one condition. And the second table, okay, total marks is supposed to be greater than, okay, so greater than 80. Okay, in general, he doesn't know about whether which ID is going to come. Okay, so we are just specifying. We want to find out in a class, okay, who are all having marks greater than, but their details are stored in two different tables. So this is how we can connect by this way. Okay, we can write, okay, select columns, and then from which table, okay, which are the tables you have to mention. Then it is followed by where condition. Condition, you can use any type of operators. more than one conditions if it is there, okay, you can use and or, okay, you can go ahead with all other operators. After where, okay, any condition you're going to apply. But if you map with the conditions inside the table, then it should refer this column with the help of this correlation name. Okay, so this is how correlation query works. Okay, when you connect with the two or more tables, correlated query will be useful. Okay, and that is okay, so that's the final result, right? When it is greater than 80, it takes and it returns, right? Okay, and okay, so there is another operator you can use, that is called exist, where followed by, okay, the previous one, where followed by straight away conditions, right? And here we are going to learn about where followed by, okay, we want to know whether it is exist or not exist, okay. If it is exist, that means if it is true means return, otherwise, okay, no need of execute this query. So if you want to apply that, okay, you can go for exist, okay. So there is a table called employee, okay. From this employee table, we are going to fetch these columns, okay, single table only. Sorry, it is how many tables? Um, Actually, employee A and employee B, two tables were there. Okay, there were two tables, and employee ID, okay, and manager ID, first name, last name, these details you want to fetch it from employees table A. Okay, so we are just going to write the condition where if it is exist, manager ID and employee ID are same, okay, then only you just fetch those employees. Okay, so fetch those employees. That means, okay, who are the employees are assigned with the maybe under the manager five. So five employees may be there. They all have the same manager ID code. So likewise from this table it is fetched. But we are checking whether it is exist or not. Exist, okay, query will return the value that is true or false. Okay, if it is true only, the outer query is going to be executed. Okay, so if you put not exist means, okay, those employees are unique employees. Okay, that means manager ID and employee ID are not okay, manager ID. And okay, so here we have checked the manager ID. Okay, this, okay, maybe for some other employees the manager ID will be repeated, but some managers may not be assigned with the employees, so those managers are going to be listed out in the last query when you put not exist. Okay, that's the use of subquery when you work with more than one table. Okay, so you have to point it out. Okay, like how which are the columns you want to display. Okay, that details you have to put, and select create an correlation name for the corresponding table. Then after where you can go for straight away write the conditions, or we can put exist and not exist or any other operator. Okay, so you can apply with the help of it. Okay, you can work with correlated subqueries. Thank you.